Okay, I want to talk a little bit about advanced functions of iMovie in this particular piece. I know that we've gone through the beginning and the intermediate, and these you may or may not use depending on your comfort level today. But if by chance you use these with students, at some point they might want to pursue this area, and it's always helpful to know a little bit of those advanced features. So I'm going to go back into, instead of our trailer, I'm going to go back into our test version of this. And again, this is just a typical storyline that we've laid down. And I want to talk about a few things. Number one, I want to talk about layering clips. Number two, I want to talk a little bit about the feature where you can adjust a clip's color, its audio, its cropping. And then number three, I want to talk about placement of pictures and how the Ken Burns effect works. So at this point, if you could go ahead and get your project worked or opened up, I think it would probably be helpful to work through this together. I'm going to start here with the clips that I have. And again, if you watched the previous videos, you'll see that we have cross-dissolve transitions. We have a title that we've overlaid on the video clip. It doesn't look very good with the coloring and things, but we can mess with that later. And then we also have multiple clips in view. So here's the deal. Let's say I have audio from one of these clips that I really, really like. Miss Coke just had an unbelievable dialogue. However, maybe some of the video in there wasn't the best, or maybe some of the things that I want to show are different. Well, I can layer clips in iMovie. So I'm going to go back to my media, and I'm going to add another file. So if you remember, you press Command I, or you can go to File, Import Media. And at this point, I'm going to add from my desktop an image. And let's just say this is the image that I want. Math teachers, this might be somewhat available to you or somewhat familiar to you, but I'm going to import the selected. And then at that point, it shows up in my events as the last piece, but it also comes up as a photo, as you can see. So if I click and drag this down, I can make it its own piece. I can make it a 4-second overlaid clip. However, I can also drop it over the top. You'll notice that there's a blue line attached, and I can make it, more or less. And so when I play this, even though whatever's on top will actually be showing in the view. So if I press play here with the space bar,
jagged line across the top. This is where
even though Miss Coke's voice is still going, the clip is playing underneath,
but you will also
the photograph is actually what is being shown. Now, obviously, that's not something that you would do in every situation, but if you have some B-roll or some nice visuals that you want to display, I think that is something that is very, very unique, and it brings a new level of professionalism to your iMovie. The second thing I want to talk about a little bit is actually cropping and or messing with your clips from a perspective of just an edit. Many of you are familiar with Photoshop and editing softwares, but if I click my playhead here, I can actually come up to the top and change a few functions. If I do not like the color of my particular piece, I can mess with the hue, the saturation, the contrast, even some of those shades, if I think it's too light or possibly too dark. Now, I want to be careful I don't completely whitewash something, but in addition, I think it's important that you can do that and you know how to do it. If for some reason I want to crop if I've got something in the corner that I really do not want, I can go ahead and crop it however I would like. If I crop to fill and then press enter, it's going to zoom in and take out some of that extra cabinetry that maybe I didn't want. If we are on a cell phone and we've had a tough time or it's a windy day, you can stabilize your shaky video by simply pressing this button. It will analyze it, and then at that point, go ahead and stabilize the video automatically for you. It won't get rid of everything, but it kind of tries to smooth the transitions between those. In addition, if I go to audio, you can auto level it, improve the loudness or the softness of your clips. I already mentioned in a previous video how to adjust the volume of the track. And then I can also lower the volume of the other clips that are involved. So this clip that's involved, I can lower as this one is playing. Background noise sometimes is prevalent. You might hear a buzzing sound depending on what you recorded on. And so obviously you can equalize that. You can voice enhance. You can make a bass boost, whatever you want. You can also play slower or faster. Like if you want a slow motion clip, you can do that with the timing function here. You can filter or audio effect either of one of those. And I apologize, this pops up over here. But instead of Miss Coke's voice being normal, maybe I want her to have some reverb. Kind of a tricky effect, but if you use it correctly, it can be kind of cool. And then finally, if I need to do anything more advanced than that, most of that work would then come down into the timeline. Here's the important thing to note. Anything that I change in this window does not affect the original clip. I think that's an important piece. You do not have to worry about it. And the other advanced functionality of this is that keep in mind there is no save button in iMovie. When I am done, I literally close out of it. And I'm using Screencast-O-Matic as you can see. But when I go back into iMovie and I click iMovie open again, it will populate with the same screen that I ended on, and I can pick right back up. I know that kind of scares some people, but that is something that is unique to some of these Mac products. All right, those are some advanced features, and again, this is a fairly quick video, but if you have any questions, go ahead and ask, and feel free to use these in any way you see fit. Thank you.